Our next presenter is the distinguished young alumni from the Industrial Engineering and Management Department, Mr. Hossam Hayek. He's the manager of Quality Assurance Department at Murex, and he graduated from AUB with a bachelor's degree of Computer and Communications Engineering in 2006. And after that, he began working with Murex as a test analyst, and at the same time, he was completing his graduate studies at AUB in the Master of Engineering Management. And April 2016, he got promoted, and Murex offered him the leadership of Quality Assurance Department, and he is leading over 100 quality assurance engineering teams, ensuring a corporate quality from development phase until client delivery. Mr. Hossam Hayek.
Thanks. So my speech today, it's about software and financial engineering, how they can mix together for a good career for someone who is seeking a career between both software engineering and financial engineering. In my presentation, I will go through 3 items mainly. I'm going to start by a brief introduction of who we are, Murex, as an employer. So I'm just going to give you a context where we work. Then I'm going to answer the question about how software and financial engineering, they can coexist together. And at the end, a special message to AUB about the studies we did at AUB and the undergraduate program and the graduate program and how they relate to our work day to day. To start with, today, who is Murex? Murex is today considered as #1 provider of solutions in the capital market for banks seeking front office to back office to risk management in their day-to-day activities. And we're very well known to our approach of work, which is close collaboration with our clients to help them achieve their targets in the evolving capital market that is moving day to day. Some figures and facts just to give you an idea who we are. Today, Murex has been in the market for around 30 years. We're around having 45,000 plus users using our product in 65 different countries. We're almost present in 17 cities in the world, and we're going to see some sample cities in the next slides. We have almost 2,000 employees working with us from 60 different nationalities, and some figures about revenues and R&D, research and development, in the few last years, just to give you an idea about the investment we put in our company. To move forward, where are we present today? The red items you can see on the graph are where we have clients. So as you can see, our clients are worldwide. It's not in a single city. We have clients all over the world. And where you can see the letter M, it's where we have offices. So as you can see, we have offices in the different cities of the world. And our main reason to have these offices is to say to our clients, we're next to you, we're near you. It's not like we are far away from you. And we have offices in different cities. Just also a quick item about our customer base. What kind of clients we try to serve? What do we offer them? In fact, we offer them a software that can deal with their needs for financial engineering stuff, for financial stuff they deal to do on a day-to-day basis. So here we have clients that are banks, we have buy side, we have corporations utility, and we have other stuff that we are also able to serve. I'm not going to go into the details, and it's not the aim of today's session, but just to give you an idea, when we speak about banks, we're speaking about market makers, global banks. We're speaking about multi-regional banks, not local ones, and we're also speaking about regional ones. So we're speaking about banks like Bank of China, #1 in China, DBS, #1 in Singapore. We're speaking about UBS in London. We're speaking about such volumes of banks. We're trying to co-op with their needs on day-to-day on our side. Buy side, when we speak about buy side, it's about asset management, portfolio management, pension funds, all these stuff. We're able to provide our clients with solutions that can meet their needs. Corporation utilities, it's mostly like commodities stuff, oil, gas, and all these stuff for trading, and not like my friend who did the session before about the theory. Here we're speaking about how we can do the trading for such commodity stuff. Last but not least, TCPs, it's about clearing solutions, brokers, governments, central banks. They also have needs that we can provide them with solutions. So it was just a brief introduction to come back to the initial statement. How can software and financial engineering mix together for a good career? When we speak about such needs, what we need people in our companies that can provide us solutions, both as a good software as and a good solution from a financial perspective. So basically, what do we have in our company? We have people as developers. We have people as quality assurance engineers. We have people working as product managers. We have people working as client services to do the implementations and the support on our client sites. We have technical consultants. We have project managers. And if I come back to my initial statement, all these people, when they work in our company, they can't work if they don't know how to do both. They have to do good design of software, and in parallel, they have to evolve with the finance part. So if I take a product manager should always listen to the market, should always know what are the new regulations that are coming into the market. He should study them, and he should see how we can implement them into our product. And once he will work to implement them in the product, he should take the other hat and know how to do a good software. So as you can see, any role today, if I take any role from these, it's a mix between both. And the level of knowledge in both, it varies. So as a developer, maybe you need to be more into the software than into the finance, but you need to know both. You cannot just be purely C++, Java, and you don't know anything about the finance, because at the end, you need to design a software that meets client requirements. So you should know both in any role you play. And I'm going to just zoom in on my career at Mirax, just to give you an idea about someone who graduated from AUB. I did computer and communication engineering, and I graduated in 2006, sorry. And then I was started with Mirax in 2006 as a test analyst, and in parallel, I started my studies as Masters of Engineering Management. So I started as a test analyst. With time, I evolved to start working as a test lead on some financial or business solutions like asset management, like Forex trading and money market trading. I had to learn this stuff. With time also, I was able to co-op with other solutions or test lead on more technical stuff, like connectivity of our system with other systems. So this was my start at Mirax. With time, I was promoted to be a system test manager. And here my story started with my evolution as a career, where I had to innovate on what I learned as a software engineer at AUB, and the knowledge I acquired as a financial engineer also from my graduation. And here I had to introduce a new notion of how can we do production readiness test. What do I mean by production readiness test? Today, the needs of our clients are very stretching, and they have high expectations, especially on functional and non-functional aspects. Today, when we speak about big clients like Bank of China, it's one of the tremendous clients in the world where the volume of activity is much high, it's very high, and their expectations is very, very high in terms of volume, number of users, all this stuff. So what we need to make sure internally in our company is that this system would work in such context. It can be turning up 24/7. We can deal with this big volume of activity, big volume of trading, traders, all this stuff. So here I introduced a notion about production readiness test. How can we replicate the production of our clients internally? And how can we ensure internally that we can replicate a complete week of what will the client do? So here I need to do two things: understand the business of my client, how he will use the system, replicate it internally. And to do it internally, I need to be a good software engineer, because I need to replicate it on an automated way and not manual way. So I need to do a design so I can replicate this activity. So this was a first step. And then, as it was introduced back last year in 2016, I was promoted to be the quality assurance department manager at Mirax. And here it's a big department. It's a 100+ engineer. We're working on how to ensure quality from the development phase on our side until reaching the client delivery we do on our side. And in our type of work, we need to ensure always that the new feature we're delivering to our clients are of a good quality, and we need to ensure the non-regression on the old features that exist in our system, because if the new ones work and the old ones they don't work, client won't be happy. So we need to ensure both that they are working, and for sure we need to put in place processes improvement, all this stuff, to ensure that we are always being able to co-op with what the market needs and listen to the standards that they exist on the market. For example, in our domain as testing, people can read. It's not something that we have created internally. We can have test standards on the market that we can read and we can apply in our day-to-day business. Last but not least, a small message to our studies that we did at AUB and how they relate to our work. I'm going to start with the studies in AUB in general, and then I'm going to zoom into the Masters of Engineering Management. Studies at AUB, they taught us many things. First thing, it's practice. It's not only about theoretical courses that we take and we're going to forget once we start working. No, at AUB, what we were taught, at least in our classes in 2006, we were taught the theory and the practice. So when we go out, we know the practice. It's not only about theory. Second item, we were taught how to do research. And not to say research ended up when I graduate. No, my dear friend, research, it starts also in your work. In your work, you should do research. It's not just at school or at university that you do research. Broader thinking and pragmatic. Broader thinking, it's about how you can see the full image and not only checking a small problem in a corner. You need to see the full image of your problems and how you can have pragmatic solutions. It's not always true, false, or binary 0, 1. Sometimes you have to try and you know how to fail. It's not a problem to fail, but know how to fail. It's something important to do. And here, pragmatic solution is something we learn a lot at AUB. Last but not least, leadership skills. And this is very important. Through the projects, through the discussions, through the groups we do at AUB, we learn how to be leaders in the future. Final word about Master's Engineering Management. As you've seen in our day-to-day work, financial engineering, it gave us a strong financial knowledge, which is a key component in my day-to-day business at Mirax. And also, I have learned how to do good problem solving and optimizations, because in our work, we are dealing with quantity of amounts of objects in thousands, in millions, and we know how to optimize stuff basically from the studies we did. So as a final message here, I'm saying simply AUB prepares us to the market, and we're ready once we're out of AUB. So special thanks to AUB and to the ones who contributed to my presence here today. Thanks.